Welcome back students, myself Dr. AP Joshi. Okay, in this video I am going to discuss about the questions on magnetism and matter. The questions on magnetism and matter. Okay, see here, first question, I want to read the first question. First question is, an iron rod of length L and magnetic moment M is bent in the form of a semicircle. An iron rod of length L and magnetic moment M is bent in the form of a semicircle. Now its magnetic moment will be. So magnetic moment formula is magnetic moment M is written as pole strength into 2L. If there is a magnet, here the pole strength is Qm plus Qm and minus Qm, and the total length is 2L. So in this case the magnetic moment is Qm into 2L. So here, given that the rod is bent in the form of a semicircle, the rod is here, I am drawing into the diagram here, the rod is bent in the form of a semicircle. Now the distance from one end to other end for the semicircle is 2r. From one end to other end of the semicircle is 2r. If you take the magnetic moment formula, so it will be magnetic moment M equal to, new magnetic moment M equal to Qm. Pole strength remains as it is. Pole strength will not change. Only the distance will change. The distance will be 2r here instead of 2L. If you take here this as 2L. So here it is given as L, capital L. The total length is L. Here total length is L. So how to write L in terms of 2R? L can be written in terms of 2R as Qm into 2L by pi, because L equal to pi r, semicircle L equal to pi r. On that basis here it will be Qm into L, this M dash, so M. Now new magnetic moment M dash, equal to, see here, initial magnetic moment M equal to Qm into L, 2L, instead of 2L I have written L, so totally it will be Qm into L. So new magnetic moment is M dash equal to Qm into 2r. Why it is 2r? Because it is bent into form of a semicircle. Now the distance from one end to other end will be 2r. It means L equal to pi r, half semicircle. So on this basis I will write it as 2 by pi Qm into L. It will be 2 by pi into M. So totally M dash equal to M 2M by pi. 2M by pi means option B is correct option. Option B is correct. Okay. So how you got it? So magnetic moment M is written as Qm into 2L, where 2L is from one end to other end length, or it is also here in this question L is given. Instead of 2L it is given L. So M equal to Qm into 2L. So new magnetic moment M dash equal to Qm into 2R. Why 2R? Because it is bent in the form of a semicircle. The length from one end to other end is 2R. So totally L is written as pi r. One more formula, half semicircle. New magnetic moment is Qm equal to 2R. Qm into 2R means 2 into L by pi. 2 into L by pi. So now it will be pi, 2 by pi into Qm into L, 2 by pi into M. So M dash equal to 2M by pi, that is option number 2. So next question is, unit of magnetic flux density is, you know what is the unit of magnetic flux density? B. unit of magnetic flux density is Tesla is correct. Weber per meter square is also correct, and Newton per ampere meter is also correct. Means the option will be all of the above. The option will be all of the above. So take the pen. Option is, sorry, it will be all of the above. All the three options are correct. Next question, third question. Magnetic intensity of an axial point due to a short bar magnet of magnetic moment m is given by. So we know that for any short bar magnet, now we know that the magnet from the center along the line, it is called axial line, it is called equatorial line for a bar magnet. Now we are asked to calculate what is the magnetic intensity at any point P. The magnetic intensity at any point P, it is not m, it is B equal to magnetic intensity at any point is given as, standard formula is it is B equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2m divided by d cube, distance cube. If you cancel 2, it will be B equal to mu naught by 2 pi m by d cube. Means the option C is correct. So it is the axial line formula, and for equatorial line, I will simultaneously write equatorial line also. B equatorial is written as mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube. The difference between axial and the equatorial is, here in axial line 2m by d cube, in equatorial line m by d cube. But the question is on axial line, so it will be 2m by d cube. 2 cancels, it will be mu naught by 2 pi m by d cube. Okay, so next question. Is, a magnet is placed in an iron powder, then taken out. Then maximum iron powder is at which end? See here, a magnet is placed in an iron powder. When it is taken out, north pole and south pole magnet, when it is taken out, where is the maximum powder? And we know that the magnet has got strongest magnetic property at the ends. So the magnet powder will be attracted at the end of the magnets. Why it is at the end of the magnets? Because the magnetic strength is strong at the ends of a magnet. So correct option is D. Okay, next question. So next question is fifth one. Okay, fifth one. Now, sorry, it will come. So in fifth question, a magnet of magnetic moment m and pole strength m. Here, see, a magnetic moment is m. And pole strength is small m. It is divided into two equal parts. Then magnetic moment of each part will be. So if you take any magnet, either it is, if you take any magnet, if it is cut perpendicular, or if a magnet is cut along the magnet, the magnetic moment will be half of the initial. New magnetic moment will be half of the initial. Okay, so what is the answer? M by 2, option B. Remember, if any magnet is cut into two equal parts, you have to remember this standard. No need to go for any formulas, it will be lengthy one. So if you have to remember this one, any magnet, when it is cut into two parts, the new magnetic moment will be m by 2. Okay, so either if you cut perpendicularly or along the magnet, anyhow you will get m by 2. Okay, next question. So next question is so sorry. Okay. Next question. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points A and B situated along the axis. 2 points A and B situated along the axis of 2 centimeter long bar magnet. 2 centimeter long bar magnet at a distance x and 2x centimeter respectively. From the pole nearer to the points, the ratio of magnetic fields will be. The ratio of magnetic fields. So if you take a bar magnet, see here it's a bar magnet. This is the axial line. Now see here, it is axial line. Here the distances given are, one is x and other is 2x. One is x and other is 2x. We know that the magnetic field is inversely proportional to 1 by d cube. The magnetic field will be inversely proportional to 1 by d cube. So if you write B1 by B2, answer will be D2 cube by D1 cube. It means that one is double the other. One is x, other is 2x. Means one is double the other. D2 is 2, D1 is 1. Means it is 8:1. Option is 8:1. Option is C. So option is C. So the magnetic field is 8:1. So here both options are printed as 8:1 and 8:1. You make either one. Sorry, both options are written as 8:1. So you have to go for the option 8:1 means here it will be D2 is 1 here. Sorry, D2 is 1 and D1 is 8. It is written as x and 2x. X and 2x. X, okay, it is correct. D2 is 2, D1 is 1. D2 is 2, D1 is 1. So it will be 2:1 cube means 8:1. Okay, option is 8:1. C is correct. Either D is correct. Both are same. It will be 1:8. It is written as 1:8 instead of 8:1. So correct option is 8:1. So magnetic field is 8:1. So next question is okay, seventh one. If a magnet is of force strength M is divided into 4 parts such that the length and width of each part is half of the initial one. The length and width of each part is half of the initial one. Then the pole strength of each part will be. See here, the magnet of pole strength small m. There is a magnet of pole strength M. It is divided into 4 equal parts. It is divided into what? 4 equal parts. Now the length and width of each part is half of the initial. The length is half, width is half. Means length will be half, width will be also half. Means pole strength reduces to half, length reduces to half. It means pole strength, magnetic moment depends on pole strength as well as length. Means both reduced to half means totally magnetic moment will become 1/4. Magnetic moment becomes 1/4. Option is A. A is the correct option. So how I got this answer? Look at once again, a magnet is of pole strength m. It is divided into 4 equal parts. The length and width of each part is half. If length and width of each part becomes half, means pole strength also becomes half, length also becomes half. Totally magnetic moment becomes 1/4, means m by 4. Okay. So here, sorry, pole strength is asked, not magnetic moment. So I written for pole strength, magnetic moment. So pole strength becomes what? M by 2. Sorry, here question, judge, it is wrong manner. Question is asked for pole strength, not for magnetic field. There is a magnetic pole of strength m. It is divided into 4 equal parts such that length and width of each part is made initially half of the initial. The new pole strength. Pole strength is m by 2, but magnetic moment will be m by 4. Remember, if magnetic moment is asked, it is m by 4. It is pole strength is asked, means m by 2. Correct option is m by 2, not m by 4. It is asked for pole strength, not for magnetic moment. Okay. So next question. The distance of 2 points, on the axis of a magnet, the distance of 2 points on the axis of a magnet from its center is 10 centimeter and 20 centimeter respectively. The two points are at distance 10 centimeter and 20 centimeter respectively. The ratio of magnetic intensities, at these points are, these 2 points are 12.5:1. B1 by B2 given. B1 by B2 is given as B1 by B2 is given as 12.5:1. It is given. Now you are asked to calculate the length of the magnet. We know that the magnetic field is proportional to distance divided by distance square minus L square, length of the square. So from this formula, how the magnetic field depends on the distance and length. So if you write this, B1 by B2 will be D is direct proportional, so it is D1 square. D2 is also directly proportional, it will be written as D2 square. So B1 by B2 equal D1 square by D2 square. And what about the, sorry, not square, distance only. Okay, D1 by D2. Now remaining is D1 square minus L square. It is written as denominator. Why it is written denominator? Because inversely proportional. D2 square minus L square is also written in the numerator, and here it is whole square. I written forward this whole square. So totally B1 by B2 equal to D1 by D2 into D2 square minus L square whole square divided by D1 square minus L1 square whole square. If you substitute B1 by B2 as 12.5:1, D1 it is given as 10, D2 is given as 20, D1 is 10, D2 is 20 centimeter. Using this formula, if you substitute and do the calculation, you will get L as length of the bar. L you will get it as 5 centimeter after calculation. You will get L as 5 centimeter, but magnet length is 2L. It is 10 centimeter. Okay, so you calculate L, you will get 5 centimeter, but it is magnet length means 2L for any magnet. See here, I will draw the picture of magnet. This is axis. The axis, one point is 5 centimeter, another point, so one point is 10 centimeter, another point is 20 centimeter. So it is small l. The total length of the magnet will be 2L. Okay, you calculate L, you will get 5 centimeter on this basis. on the formula written here, and you will get L 5 centimeter, 2L will be 10 centimeter. Okay, so option is 10 centimeter correct. Next question is the ratio of magnetic, ninth question, the ratio of magnetic intensities for an axial point and a point on broadside on position at a distance d from the center of the magnet will be, or the magnetic field at a distance d, from a short bar magnet in longitudinal transverse positions. So if you take a bar magnet, this is end on position, this is broadside on position. The distance from center are same, both are d. This is d and this is d. If you take the formulas, B axial equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2m divided by d cube. This is the axial formula, means end on position. End on position means axial. Broadside on position means equatorial. B equatorial equal to, formula is mu naught by 4 pi m divided by d cube. So what is the difference between these two formulas? Axial is 2, B equatorial is 1, means axial is 2, equatorial is 1, means axial is double the equatorial. So means B axial, remember this one, B axial divided by B equatorial, it is written as 2:1, means option is C. C is the correct option. You have to remember this formula forever. For B axial to B equatorial is 2:1. B axial to B equatorial is 2:1. Okay. So next question, I will move to next question. Sorry, 10th question. 10th question is, okay. 10th question is, the magnetism of a magnet is due to, how the magnetism is there? The magnetism of the magnet is mainly because options are spin motion of electron, earth, pressure of the big magnet inside the earth, or cosmic rays. The simple answer is the spin motion of electrons. The spin motion of electron causes the magnetism. Okay, 11th question. 11th question is, the pole strength of a bar magnet is 48 ampere meter and the distance between its poles is 25 centimeter. The bar magnet, I will draw the bar magnet. This is a bar magnet. Pole strength is given as Qm equal to 48. The distance between the poles, it is, you can write to capital L is 25 centimeter. Okay, now you are asked to calculate what is the moment of the couple acting on it when it is placed at an angle of 30 degree. So you have to calculate moment of couple, means torque. The torque formula is tau equal to mb sin theta. Formula for torque acting on a magnet, magnet, which is also called moment of couple. M is what? Qm, pole strength, into L. It is B as it is, sin theta as it is. After substituting and doing the calculation, substitute Qm. L is centimeter, remember L is written in centimeter, convert it into meter. B is also given 0.15, sin theta, sin 30. After doing all these calculations, you will get the answer as C, 0.9 Newton. So option is 0.9 Newton. So how you got this answer? Moment of couple means torque. So if you take any magnetic field, if you take any magnetic field, in this magnetic field, if a bar magnet is placed, it is making an angle, some angle theta. Then what is the formula for torque acting on the magnet? Tau equal to mb sin theta, mb sin theta. M is written as qm into L, pole strength into length. Okay, so option will be 0.9. Okay, next question. Next question will be so see here, a magnetic field, the magnetic field at a point x on the axis of a small magnet, axial line, axis means axial line, bar magnet is equal to the field at a point y on the equator of the same magnet. So the ratio of distances x and y from the magnet is, so it is given as the magnetic field, sorry, once again I will go back. So here, 12th question. Oh, sorry. Okay, see here, this is the 12th question. I'll take the pen. Okay, sorry. Okay, next here, the magnetic field x on the x-axis of a small bar magnet is equal to the magnetic field at a point y on the equator of the same magnet. The ratio of the ratio of the distances. So I will first draw a magnet. This is equator, this is axial line, the point x on axial line, the point y on the equatorial line, this magnetic field B1, this magnetic field B2, these two are equal, given B1 equal to B2. B1 is what? 2m by x cube. 2m by x cube distance. It is, now this is m by y cube. Distance is what? Y cube. M cancels. For axial line 2m by x cube. For in equatorial line m by d cube. Here d is x, here d is y. So if you take this ratio, x cube by y cube equal to 2, then x by y equal to, it is 2 raised to 1 by 3 divided by 1. 2 raised to 1 by 3 divided by 1 means it is 2 raised to 1 by 3. So correct option is 2 raised to 1 by 3. Correct option is D. Okay, so option is 2 raised to 1 by 3. Next question. Next question is, okay, 13th. A magnet of magnetic moment 20 CGS units. There is a magnet of magnetic moment m equal to 20 CGS units. It is freely suspended in for magnetic field of intensity 0.3 CGS units. Means all units are in CGS. The amount of work done in deflecting it by an angle of 30 degree in CGS unit is. Here asked to calculate work done. So what is the formula for work done for rotating a magnet? W equal to m b into bracket 1 minus cos theta. This is a formula for work done. So using this formula, W equal to mb into 1 minus cos theta, m is 20, a magnet of magnetic moment 20, b is 0.3, 1 minus cos, how much degree? 30 degree. With this, if you substitute and do the calculation, you will get the answer as 3 into bracket 2 minus root 3. 2 minus 3 into 2 minus root 3. Do the calculation, you will get the answer as 3 into 2 minus root 3. Option is C. 13th question. The straightforward formula W equal to mb into 1 minus cos theta. 14th. Here you have to remember the formulas. Otherwise, the questions are of not meaningful. You have to get the formulas first and concept. 14th question. 14th question is, a bar magnet having center O has a length of 4 centimeter. There is a bar magnet of length how much centimeter? 4 centimeter. Means L equal to 4 centimeter. 4 centimeter. Okay. Now the point P1 is on the broadside on position. The point P1 is on broadside on position. It is on broadside on means it is on equatorial line. Equatorial line. And P2 is on end on side position means axial line. The distance of OP1 and OP2 are 10 meters. The distances of OP1 and OP2 are 10 centimeters. Now the ratio of magnetic intensities at P1 and P2 are. The ratio of magnetic intensities at P1 and P2 are. So we know that if the distances are same, the magnetic field on axial line and the magnetic field on equatorial line both are 2:1. Axial line and equatorial line are 2:1 means HA by HE equal to 2:1 means H1 by H2. H1 by H2 means HA by HE. HA by HE means BA by BE. BE axial divided by BE. B equatorial 2:1. Option is 14th is B. Direct formula. No need to substitute. Next question. Next question is 15th question. 15th question is the magnetic field due to a short magnet at a point on the axis at a distance x centimeter from the middle of the magnet is 200 Gauss. The magnetic field on the neutral axis at x distance. It means distance are same. I'll take the pen. Every time it goes out. Okay, ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಪೆನ್ನು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೋತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. So next question, 15th question, I'm going to repeat it. The magnetic field due to a short magnet, there is a short magnet. Okay, the magnetic field due to a short magnet on axial line and equatorial line. Axial line distance is x, equatorial line distance also x. If distance are same, B axial is twice B equatorial. It is standard. I have discussed above question. B axial equal to B 2 times B equatorial. But the axial middle point of the magnetic field, short magnet, axial value is given 200 Gauss. Then what about the neutral axis? Neutral axis means nothing but equatorial line. So B equatorial equal to BA by 2 means 200 by 2. It is 100 Gauss. So 100 Gauss, option is A. And 100 Gauss means option is A. So 15th question answer is A. Next question, 16th question. Okay, it's gone up. Okay, which of the following most stable metal for making permanent magnets? For making magnets, which is the most stable metal? It is very simple question. Option is for which of the following the most stable metal for making permanent magnets? The most stable material for making permanent magnets is option is steel. Okay, so next question. So next 17th question. In case of a bar magnet, the lines of magnetic induction. In case of a bar magnet, how the lines of a magnetic induction takes place? We start from North Pole and at South Pole. Okay, if you take a bar magnet. So if you take a bar magnet, so I'll take the pen first. Okay, every time it goes out. Pen. Okay, now if you take a bar magnet, from the North Pole, the magnetic field lines comes out. From the South Pole, the magnetic field lines reinsert, and the magnetic field lines also flow inside the magnet also. means they will not only start from north and end at south, they travel inside the magnet also. Means the option is they run continuously through the bar and outside. They run out continuously through the bar and also outside. Option B, they go outside as well as come inside. Okay, option is B. Okay, next question. Next question, 18th question. Okay, 18th question. A sensitive magnetic instrument can be shielded very effectively from outside magnet fields by placing it inside a box of. So here, how to shield a material from the outside effects. So any magnetic field comes here, it should be absorbed by the material. Any magnetic field outside comes here, it should be absorbed, not touch. It will not touch to the material. For this, we have to use a material having high permeability. High permeability. So which material is having high permeability? Soft iron core is having high permeability. So it will absorb the magnetic field inside it. It will not allow to touch to the material, sensitive material. So option is C. So we have to, concept is what? We have, for shielding, we have to use a high permeability material. High permeability material is what? Soft iron core. Okay. So option is C. 18th is C. Then 19th question. The field due to magnet at a distance r from the center of the magnet is proportional to. The magnetic field due to a bar magnet, it is proportional to what? Mu naught by 4 pi 2m by d cube. Instead of d cube, here r cube, means B is inversely proportional to r cube. So option is 19th is D. 19th is D. Okay. Next question, 20th question. I'll move to 20th question. Okay. See it gone up, little bit up. Okay, drag it. Okay. Now a uniform magnetic field parallel to the plane of the paper existed in the space initially directed from left to right. The magnetic field is from left to right. When a bar magnet of soft iron core is placed in the field parallel to it, the lines of force passing through it will be represented. See here, whenever in a magnetic field, if you place a iron piece, soft iron piece, the iron piece tries, because of its high permeability, the soft iron always tries to take more number of magnetic field lines inside. The soft iron, because of its high permeability, it tries to take all the magnetic field lines. And the high permeability ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯನೋ ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ತನ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು? ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ the less number of magnetic fields, here also less number of magnetic fields, here there will be more number of magnetic fields. So option will be B. So B is the correct option. Okay, so next question is, next topic I am going to discuss, earth magnetism. On the basis of earth magnetism, I am going to discuss the questions here. First question, a very small magnet is placed in a magnetic meridian with its south pole pointing north. See here. Now the null point is obtained 20 cm away from the center of the magnet. Where the null point is obtained? 20 cm away from the magnet. If the Earth's magnetic field at this point will be 0.3 Gauss, horizontal component is given. Horizontal component BH is given as 0.3 Gauss in CGS system units. The magnetic moment of magnet is. See here, for null point, magnitude of the magnetic field must be equal to BH. And what is the formula for B? B in terms of CGS unit, the magnetic field is 2m by d cube. 2m by d cube, it is equal to BH. Why I am taken B is equal to BH? Because both magnetic fields will be equal and opposite. Both magnetic fields will be equal and opposite. Why both magnetic fields will be equal and opposite? For null point. Null point means here question is given null point, for obtaining null point. So on this basis d distance is given, bh is given, m should be calculated. After doing the calculations you will get the answer as 1.2 into 10 raised to 3 EMU CGS unit. Here CGS formula for magnetic field is B equal to 2m divided by d cube. So you have already taken B as mu naught by 4 pi 2m by d cube. Why you change this one? Because it is SI, this CGS. Remember, this is CGS formula, this is SI formula. Okay, now you have taken CGS unit. Okay, next question. So you will do I think you will do the calculation. M will be d cube into BH divided by 2. Substitute, you will get the answer as B. Next question. Intensity of magnetic field due to earth at a point inside a hollow steel box is. The magnetic field due to earth inside the hollow steel box. If you take any hollow steel box, it is its permeability is very low. It will not allow any magnetic field. So option will be 0. No magnetic field is inside the steel box. Okay. Next question. Okay. Earth's magnetic field. Third one. Earth's magnetic field always has a horizontal component except at, or horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field remains 0 at. Where is Earth's? If you take an Earth, so Earth, where this is equator, this is equator, this is polar axis, this is polar axis of the Earth. If you take the needle, where the needle remains horizontal, there the needle will be horizontal on equator, the needle will be vertical on where polar axis. Means here the declination is theta equal to 90 degree, here theta is 0 degree. Means where the BH is 0. If the needle will be horizontal, magnetic field is along BH. If the needle will be vertical, magnetic field will be BV will be 0. Here BH is present, here BV is present. BH stands for horizontal component, BV stands for vertical component. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಕ್ವೇಟರ್ನಾಗ ಬರೀ BH ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೀ BV ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ BH ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್. ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ BV ಇರುತ್ತೆ, BH ಇರಲ್ಲ. ನೋ BV, no BV is present, BH is absent. In equator BH is present, BV is absent. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ 0 ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? BV ಇಕ್ವೇಟರ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, BH ಇಕ್ವೇಟರ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ BV ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪೋಲಾರ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ BH ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಪೋಲ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ BH ಈಸ್ 0. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು? ಬಿ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಬಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ at polar axis BH is 0. At equator the magnetic field is completely BH. Okay, next question. A dip needle in a plane perpendicular to magnetic meridian will remain. A dip needle. Any dip needle, if you place in a magnetic meridian, it will be perpendicular, means it will be vertical. Although if you take it along the magnetic meridian, it will be inclined or somewhere else. But if you take it perpendicular to needle, it will be a vertical position. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ನೀಡಲ್ನ ನೀವು ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್, there are two components, one is BH, other is BV. It will be anywhere in position, needle ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ತೋರಿಂದ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಎನಿ ನೀಡಲ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎನಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ BH ಆರ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ BV. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ನೀಡಲ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ it will be along BH or it will be along BV or it is in between BH and BV, ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ perpendicular to magnetic meridian, vertical position. Okay, next question. Fifth question. I'll go to fifth question. Okay, sorry. Fifth question. Next, fifth question. Fifth question is what is the next fifth question? At magnetic poles of Earth, the angle of dip is at the magnetic poles of Earth, the angle of dip is angle of dip ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬಹುದು? Fifth question. Answer is C. So if you take Earth, once again I'll repeat, this is polar axis, this is equator. Angle of dip angle is 90 degree here. Angle of dip is 0 degree at equator. Nenpidri, at equator dip is 0, at polar axis dip is 90 degree. Okay, in polar axis the needle will be vertical. At equator the needle will be horizontal. Okay, 0 90. So option is 90. Okay, next question. The correct relation between BH and BV is, we know that B and BH and BV, they are perpendicular, means B equal to what? Square root of BH square plus BV square. So option is C. The relation between BH and V. What is B? B is the total Earth's magnetic field. BH is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. BV is vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. It is all given here. Okay, next question. Seventh one. At a certain place, the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is √3 times vertical component. Then what is the angle of dip at that place? Angle of dip is asked. Seventh question. So it is given that horizontal component BH is √3 times BV. BH is √3 times BV. Now you are asked to calculate dip. So we know that tan theta equal to BV by BH. BV by BH. After substituting this, BV as it is BV, BH as √3 BV. So BV cancels. It will be 1 by √3. So when is tan theta 1 by √3? When is tan theta 1 by √3? At angle. So here at an angle. 8th, I am going to discuss 7th question. At an angle 30 degree. Tan theta is 1 by √3 means theta equal to 30 degree. Theta equal to what? 30 degree. Answer is D. Okay. So next question. 8th one. The vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is 0. Where is Earth's vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is 0? Once again I will go for the diagram. Earth, this is polar axis, this is equator. The dip is 0 here, the dip is 90 degree here. You are asked to calculate where is the vertical component 0. Vertical component is 0 at equator, means it is at magnetic equator. At the magnetic equator of the Earth, the vertical component is 0. Because there is no vertical component, only horizontal present. So next question, 9th. The angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian. Simple question. The angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian is angle of declination. Angle of declination is defined as angle between magnetic meridian and geographic meridian. So next question, 10th one. Okay, 10th one. The lines of force due to Earth's horizontal component of magnetic field are. The lines of force due to Earth's horizontal component of Earth are. Horizontal component, they are parallel straight lines. Option is A. Because of the horizontal component, the magnetic fields will be parallel straight lines. They are not neither be concentric, they are not elliptical, they are not parabolic. They are only parallel straight lines. 10th is A. Okay, 11th one. At a place, if the Earth's magnetic If the Earth's horizontal and vertical components of magnets are equal, then the angle of dip is equal to, what will be the angle of dip? So if BH is, it is equal to BV. If BH is equal to BV, this will happen only at 45 degree. At 45 degree, see here, at 45 degree and the middle, BH is equal to what? BV. So option is C. Next, 12th question. If the angles of dip at two places are, if the angles of dip at two places are 30 degree and 45 degree respectively, the angle of dip is given, not a declination. Dip is 30 and 45 degree. The ratio of the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Earth's horizontal magnetic field is BH is written as B cos theta. Then BH1 by BH2 equal to, what right it is, cos theta 1 divided by cos theta 2. Cos theta 1, cos 30, cos theta 2, cos 45 degree. Substitute cos 30 and cos 45, cos 30 and cos 45, you will get the correct option as root 3 is to root 2. Root 3 is to root 2. Okay. Next question. Oh, sorry. Okay. Next question. 13th question. 13th question. At a place, the Earth's horizontal component of magnetic field is 0.36 into 10 raised to minus 4 Weber per meter square. Magnetic field of Earth's horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. If the angle of dip at that place is 60 degree, the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. So very simple, the tan theta equal to BV by BH. Simple formula. Now what about BV? Vertical component, it is asked. BV equal to what? BH tan theta. What is BH? It is given 0.36 into 10 raised to minus 4. 30 degree. Theta is what? Sorry, 60 degree. Theta is what? 60 degree. Substitute theta 60, BH as 0.36 into 10 raised to minus 4. We will get the correct option as 0.62 into 10 raised to minus 4. Correct option will be 0.62 into 10 raised to minus 4. Substitute and do the calculation. Okay, answer is D. Next question, 14. The angle of dip at a place is 40.6 degree. The intensity of vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is 6 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. The total intensity of Earth's magnetic field at that place is simple. Again, horizontal, its vertical component is V. It is given 6 into 10 raised to minus 5. Okay, now total intensity I, it is equal to, question asked, VI equal to total intensity of the magnetic field. Dip is given. So vertical component formula. What is the formula for BV? BV equal to B sine theta. Okay, BV, instead of BV it is written as V. Instead of B it is written as I into sine theta. Now I want I equal to V by sine theta. Substitute V and theta, do the calculation. Substitute V as 6 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla, sine theta, it is sine 40.6 degree. You will get the answer as 9.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. So option is 14th is D. Substitute and do the calculation, you get the answer as 9.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. Okay. So next question. Next question. The angle of dip is the, what is angle of dip? Definition. Very simple. It is the angle between vertical component of Earth's magnetic field and magnetic meridian, or it is the angle between the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field and geographic meridian, or it is the angle between the Earth's magnetic field and horizontal component. Means option is C. So 15th is C. Okay. angle of dip definition. Next 16. At a certain place the angle of dip is 30 degree. At a certain place the angle of dip is how much? 30 degree. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is 0.5 oersted. It is given in oersted. What is the total magnetic field? So total magnetic field. Before that I am going to write BH. What is BH? BH is written as B cos theta. BH is B cos theta. If you do the calculation for total magnetic field B equal to BH divided by cos theta. Substitute BH as 0.5 cos 30 and do the calculation. You will get the answer as 1 by root 3. Option is what? 1 by root 3. Okay, next 16th is over. 17th question. So the angle of dip at the magnetic equator is already discussed. What is the angle of dip at the magnetic equator? At the once again draw the diagram. This is Earth, this is the polar axis, this is equator. At the equator angle of dip is 0 degree. So option is 17th option is E. At this polar axis dip is 90 degree. At polar axis dip is 90 degree, but it is asked for equator. Okay, now option is A. 17th is A. 18th, the line on the Earth's surface joining the points where the field is horizontal is. The line on the Earth's surface joining the line on the Earth's surface joining the points where the field is horizontal is. It is called magnetic equator. Magnetic equator has got the lines parallel to the horizontal. It will join the lines of the magnetic field on the horizontal. Means Earth's magnetic equator joins the lines of points on the horizontal surface. Okay, it is option is magnetic equator. Andre magnetic equator mele magnetic lines of both join ಆಗ್ತವೆ point to point lines of Earth surface joins. Option is D. 18th is D. 19th question. The angle between Earth's magnetic field and Earth's geographic axis is, it is 9.69 degree. Remember, standard answer. What is the answer? The angle between Earth's magnetic field and Earth's geographic axis. Earth's magnetic field and Earth's geographic axis, how much? 9.69 degree. Okay. This is 19th question. Next we go for next part of the question. Next part of the questions is magnetic equipments. The time period of a freely suspended magnet doesn't depend on. The time period of a freely suspended magnet doesn't depend on. T equal to, we know that the time period of a magnet suspended freely, it is written as 2 pi I divided by m into bh. Okay, so here T depends on I. What is I? Moment of inertia. M, it is discussed in first year, moment of inertia. I is moment of inertia. M is magnetic moment. bh is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Here T depends on I, M and bh. Here the answer is which doesn't depend. Here which will not depend, it is what? Length of suspension. Depends on length. Length means moment of inertia. Moment of inertia depends on length of magnet. Magnetic moment depends on, I depends on length. M depends on pole strength. BH is horizontal component. So which it doesn't depend? Length of suspension. Okay, next question. Next question is magnetic moments of two bar magnets may be compared with the help of deflection magnetometer, vibration magnetometer, both of above or none of the above. So here option is both of above. So magnetic moments of bar magnets can be compared with the help of both deflection magnetometer as well as vibration magnetometer. Okay, next third question. Third is time period of a freely suspended bar magnet. As I discussed first question, T equal to what? 2 pi into root of I by BH. Option A. So next question. So next question, sorry here. Next question. Okay, next question. Fourth, at a certain place, a magnet makes how much oscillations? 30 oscillations per minute. At another place where the magnetic field is double, its time period will be. Now it is asked for time period. What is the initial time period T1? It is 1 by n by n1. How much is given? 1 by 30 oscillations per minute. 30 oscillations per minute means half oscillation per second, means 2 oscillations. Okay, time period is 2. Time period is 2 here. Now, it is 30 oscillations per minute means half oscillations per second, means it is 2, T1 is 2. Now, T2, now time period is directly proportional to it is inversely proportional to root of magnetic field. Means if magnetic field is doubled, it is root 2, then what happens to the new magnetic field? 1 by root 2 times initial magnetic field is initial time period is how much? 2. So 1 by root 2 times 2. 1 by root 2 times 2 means it is proportional to root 2. So option is what? Option is what? 4 is D. Okay, 4 is D. 4 is D. Okay. Next one. Fifth one. See here, time period is inversely proportional to magnetic field as discussed above. 1 by root B. 1 by magnetic field is doubled. Doubled means B is 2 times. Now 1 by root 2 times initial time period. Initial time period means 2. 2 by root 2 means root 2. Okay. Next question. Two magnets of same size, same mass make respectively 10 and 15 oscillations per minute at a certain place. The ratio of magnetic moments. So what is the ratio of magnetic moments? So time period is T1 equal to 1 by 10, T2 equal to 1 by 15. Okay, let's take some more space here. Okay, see here. T1 is 1 by 10, first oscillation, it is oscillations per minute in terms of frequency, 10 frequency, 15 frequency. T1 is 1 by 10, T2 is 1 by 15. The ratio of magnetic moments. So T is inversely proportional to root M. Then M1 by M2 is written as, it is root means you have to square, T2 square by T1 square inversely. T2 square by T1 square. T2 square is what? 1 by 15 square. It is 1 by 10 square. So after doing calculation, 10 square by 15 square. 10 square by 15 square, you do the calculation. You do the calculations. The answer will be, what is the answer? 4 is to 9. Option is A. 4 is to 9. You get the answer as 4 is to 9. Okay, now see here again you have to take 10 oscillations per second. You have to take per second means per 60 you have to make. Here also per 60. It will be 60 divided by 15 square. It will be 60 by 15 square. 60 cancels again. 10 square by 15 square. Okay, so these two will get cancelled. 10 square by 15 square means 10 by 15. It will be 10 by 5 means 2 by 3. 2 by 3 square means 4 by 5. Okay, answer is fifth one. Now we'll go for 8th question. It is misprinted as, after 5th question it is printed as 8th one. Let it be. The question number is not important. Question is important. ಈಗ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಏಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು, ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು 4 equal parts along its axis perpendicular to its axis as shown in the part. So what is the new time period? So time period, we know that time period depends on what? 2 pi root of I by m b square, bh square. Okay, here if you divide the magnet into 4 equal parts, moment of inertia becomes 1/16th. Moment of inertia becomes 1/16th of initial. New magnetic moment of inertia becomes 1/16th, and magnetic moment it becomes magnetic moment, it becomes 1/4. New magnetic moment becomes 1/4. Moment of inertia becomes 1/16. Magnetic moment becomes 1/4. How? Because moment of inertia is written as ml square by 12. M is 1/4, L is 1/4. M is 1/4, L is 1/4. So totally it will be 1/16 times. It will be 1/16 times. So mass is 1/4, length is half, half square. So totally it will be 1/16. So moment of inertia becomes 1/16. Now see here is square. Okay, moment of inertia, it is made 4 equal parts, means magnetic moment becomes m/4. Moment of inertia becomes 1/16, magnetic moment becomes 1/4. So time period becomes, new time period is proportional to, see here, I root of I is 1/16, m is 1/4, bh unaltered. So totally it will become root of 4/16. It will be 2/4. It will be 1/2. So option time period becomes half, t/2. What is the answer? t/2. How you got? See here, time period becomes 2 pi equal root of I by m bh square. Moment of inertia, after making 4 equal parts, moment of inertia becomes 1/16. Magnetic moment becomes 1/4. Means 1/16, 1/4. Do the calculation, will be half. So next question. The time period of vibration of a magnetometer is infinity. The time period of a magnetometer is infinity. Where is the magnetic? It is at equator. At the equator, the time period of vibration of magnetometer is infinity. Option C. Okay, next questions, magnetic materials. Next questions on magnetic materials. First question, the magnets cannot be from which of the following substances? Magnets cannot be made from which of the following substances? Iron, copper, nickel, or all of the above? The answer is copper. Copper is a diamagnetic, so it cannot be made from diamagnet. Copper is diamagnet, so magnets cannot be made from diamagnetic substances like magnet. Okay, copper. Okay. Magnetic moment of atomic neon is, the magnetic moment of neon. Neon is a diamagnetic substance. Neon is what? Diamagnet. So diamagnet means it is 0. Next, which of the following is most stable for the core of electromagnets? So for making core of the electromagnets, we have to use a soft iron. That is option third A, because of high permeability. So next, fourth one, demagnetization of magnets can be done by, see here, how to make the demagnetization? Rough handling leads demagnetization. Heating also demagnetizes. Magnetizing in opposite direction also demagnetizes. Means option is D, all of the above. Okay, so next question, fifth one, a ferromagnetic metal is heated above its Curie temperature. If you heat a ferromagnetic metal above the Curie temperature, which one is the correct statement? Ferromagnetic domains are perfectly arranged. Ferromagnetic domains becomes random. Ferromagnetic domains are not influenced. Ferromagnetic metal changes itself into a magnetic. So best option is B, because when you heat a ferromagnetic material, the domains gets aligned in random direction. Due to the random arrangement, the magnetization decreases. So option is B, fifth one. Next, sixth one, if a diamagnetic substance is brought near either north or south pole of a bar magnet, diamagnetic substance is brought near the north or south pole of a bar magnet, it is attracted by the poles, repelled by the poles, repelled by north and attracted south, attracted by north and repelled by south. So answer is diamagnetic substances are always repelled by the poles. Option is B. Sixth one is B. Okay, next question, seventh one. The material of permanent magnet has. If you take a material of permanent magnet, it has high retentivity and high coercivity. Permanent magnets are having always high retentivity and high coercivity. Option is seventh one is D. Okay, eighth one. The permanent magnet is made from which of the following substances? Permanent magnets are always made of ferromagnetic materials. Not dia, not ferro, not allomagnets. Permanent magnets are made up of what? Ferromagnetic materials. So next question. The temperature above which a ferromagnetic substance becomes paramagnetic is called Curie temperature. Very simple answer. What is Curie temperature? The temperature above which ferromagnetic becomes paramagnetic means Curie temperature. So 10th one, when a magnetic substance is heated, then it becomes a strong magnet, loses magnetism, doesn't affect the magnetism. D, either A or C. Means option is B. If you heat a magnetic substance, it loses its magnetism. Okay. So with this, I am going to stop today's class. Thank you.